Hi, everyone. My name is Haley Beckman, Director of Product Marketing here at listrak. Today, we're going to be covering best practices for building emails in dark mode. For our agenda, we're going to review the following. What exactly is dark mode? Why is it important to build for it? What tactics can we employ when building emails for use in dark mode? We'll unpack a few additional considerations, and finally, we'll walk through a few examples of emails optimized for use in dark mode in the listrak platform. First, what exactly is dark mode? It's actually a personal device display setting that's become more popular in recent years, especially for active mobile users. What it's not all about is a specific email inbox. It's simply a UI choice for the majority of mainstream email inboxes, which include Gmail, Apple Mail, Outlook, and more. What typically happens when dark mode is selected as a user's preferred UI mode is the background colors are darkened and text is lightened. You can see this in the example to the right of our screen. There are, however, impacts to the display of certain colors as well as logos and images and how those are displayed. Now let's address why it's important to build for dark mode. As mentioned, there's simply more adoption by consumers today. But additionally, different inboxes handle dark mode in different ways. There are specific styles of dark mode, and that's where things become a bit tricky to consider, but not impossible to account for. There are three different styles, so to speak, of dark mode. There's no color inversion, partial color inversion, and full color inversion. The first two, which again were no inversion and partial inversion, are the most common, with full color inversion being the last but most glaringly obvious of the three. Fortunately, Apple and Gmail subscribe to the no color inversion style. And really, this means that when an email is displayed in dark mode, it's going to be seen exactly as it was designed. So light backgrounds will still be light, dark backgrounds will still be dark, and colors will generally stay the same. Partial inversion is how you'd see emails in the suite of Outlook inboxes, which are the desktop app, web app, and the phone app. This means that in some cases, such as having a black or white background, those styles would be inverted. The most glaring of all is the full color inversion, which is seen specifically on the Gmail app for iOS. What happens here is that CSS and HTML colors are altered completely throughout the email. White and black are completely inverted as well, and there's no regard to contrast. This means that you could theoretically have a color clash or even have unreadable content. But we'll cover some ways to account for that in another section. Because of these three styles, we need to ensure that there is readability, brand consistency, and an overall better user experience for all your email subscribers. Because dark mode is a personal device UI style and not an inbox type, marketers can't tell who has dark mode enabled within their subscriber lists. So it's crucial to build your creative with dark mode in mind in the event a higher percentage of your subscribers are actively engaging with your content while in dark mode. Finally, emails built with dark mode in mind are generally just easier on the eyes and improve content legibility while supporting inclusivity for all subscribers. We'll unpack more on accessibility and inclusivity in another webinar. So now let's address some tactics that we can employ for building emails with dark mode in mind. For your images, make sure to use a stroke or glow to ensure that graphics are clear, especially with iconography or your logo. Be sure to crop your images thoughtfully. If you're using a background color, you need to make sure there's enough padding so the content can remain readable. And if you want your emails to look the same across different modes, you'll need to rely on images with alt text to ensure usability. This is especially important if you want to keep your background color and text color the same throughout both. For live text, it does naturally adjust for dark mode in those that we talked about previously. When HTML color or settings invert, the text color will also change. This ensures accessibility standards in size and contrast on both modes. For buttons, consider using a 1 pixel border around all of them in case there's some discrepancy in color, as this helps ensure contrast with the background. And for backgrounds themselves, setting a background color when using background images will swap with the text in different modes. We'll leverage translucent images to accommodate when background colors adjust. Some additional considerations for dark mode may be that CSS tags may be removed by certain email clients. Including metadata in the head tags for certain inboxes, like Gmail, will strip any style tags that are not in the head of the document. Metadata can detect dark mode, and you can also target certain email clients and create style updates. Use @media query in your embedded style section for custom dark mode styles in most inboxes. This is especially useful for dark mode specific logos if you don't want to use an outline or a glow. Now, let's take a look at how to build an email in listrak with dark mode in mind. Here we have a fairly innocuous email, but there are still some considerations for dark mode that we need to account for. Specifically, we want to take a look at the logo up here and background image down here. What can happen if we're not careful is that in certain inboxes with dark mode displayed, we might lose some readability as well as overall content. As you can see here, the logo is completely hidden as well as the content above the Save Now button. If we navigate back to our email design, we need to ensure that there's a stroke or glow around our logo, as well as a background color applied to the section with the background image. Here I'll simply update the logo with an outline applied. And for our background image, we can see that there's no color currently applied. The content background is currently transparent, so we want to make sure there's a color that's fairly similar to the ones found in the image itself applied to that content area. After we've done that, we're ready to go ahead and test our email again. As we can see here, the logo is now completely visible as well as the content above the Save Now button. And here's the final example of how an email would look in Gmail in dark mode. As mentioned previously, Gmail subscribes along with Apple to the no color inversion style. So although we did make considerations for use in dark mode, our email still displays as it was originally designed. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you now feel better equipped for building emails in dark mode. If you have any additional questions, check out our additional Help Center resources and always reach out to your account manager for help. Plus, stay tuned here for more videos in the future on additional email design best practices and considerations. Take care.